Hey, I'm Great American PA.
I'm Road Glide Andy.
And this is Coffee with HDR.
Well,
Convoy America.
Yeah, the Great American Convoy. Coffee with HDR, the Great American Convoy style.
Great American Convoy with HDR.
Hey, yes, welcome back, everybody, once again to another rendition of Coffee with HDR. I'm going to have to ditch these glasses with this glare on here. But good morning, everybody. It is Coffee with HDR, show number 127. Come to you live in a living color here on Saturday morning, June the 17th, 2023. Guys, we're back once again, and we're here in living color with all of you famous people out there. And you know what? We have a lot to talk about today, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. First, let's go through here and say our good mornings to everybody, and we'll see how this goes. So let's start from the top here and work our way down. Good morning to Ron Kelly. Glad to have you on board with us this morning. Toby Northern. Smyrna Cowboys in the house. The Captain Ed. Bob Nelson. HDAV Traveler. Veteran Bikers in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Dawn on the Run. Chuck Henson. Let's go down through here and find anybody else here. Judy's in the house. Debbie's here. My sister, Debbie, or Mallory. Chuck Henson, the Dusty Chronicles. Big Dog PA. HDAV Traveler. Pink's Adventures. Dean C. Payne's Rides, good morning. Mike Bodine, had a great conversation with Ron yesterday about Mike. We'll discuss that a little bit this morning. Brian Richards is in the house here. Let's see who else. And Bob Nelson, and we'll catch anybody else, any new stragglers coming in there this morning. Hopefully the audio appears to be okay. Everybody can hear everything all right. And Tony G's in the house. Local Harley dealer closing in Illinois. They said it's HD consolidation program. Too many dealers closing. Be the Rider PA's in the house. Good morning to Be the Rider PA. The Ohio Windy 9 own meetup is next weekend. I can't wait to see everyone who's going. Paul's in the house. Good morning to Paul. Danny. Good morning to Danny. And Road Glide Andy. Hey, what's up with the ads at the beginning? We missed the intro with the ads. I didn't know they're putting ads in this show now. I'm going to have to check that out. But yeah, so I'll play the intro again at the 30-minute mark. But why? Why, YouTube? I asked them to put ads in. They do. I know they put ads in once it's recorded and it's out there. But there shouldn't be pre-roll ads on a live stream. So I will look into that for sure. And I get that taken care of for next week, so we don't have to be bothered by that. Good morning, Bodine52. Good morning, Ty from Tennessee. Nice to have it in there. Mr. McStash in there. The Tube is putting ads on everything, and yes, they are absolutely. It's. I always said businesses aren't in business to not make money. But what I'm going to do right now, since we got so many new people in here, Mr. McStash said they had ads on one of my videos. So that's what I mean. Even if you don't monetize, they're going to dump ads on it. So because you're using the platform. But what I am going to do, I'm going to re-roll that primo right now because I had fun making it, and it was just a good time. And it'll lead us into today's topic and discussion. So I'm going to roll this pre-roll here. D.A. Bishop, good morning. One more time. Let me go ahead and do that.
Hey, I'm Great American PA.
I'm Road Glide Andy.
And this is Coffee with HDR.
Well,
Convoy America.
Yeah, the Great American Convoy. Coffee with HDR, the Great American Convoy style.
Great American Convoy with HDR.
All right, there you go. So there's the primo intro this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. I was sitting around here at 7:30 thinking, well, I got to do something to beef up the intro for this show because I knew I had Road Glide Andy and Be the Rider PA yesterday when we were out riding. Yes, as you see in the title here today, it says we were riding the Great American Convoy yesterday. So I think that may be where I start to pick this show up at today because I had some great conversations yesterday with some great people. If you're on this show this morning, I don't always know your screen name compared to your real name, but thank you for coming up to me at the Adventure Harley Davidson yesterday. I got off the bike, I started walking over, and I had a few people coming over, and saying, hey, finally got to meet HDR, and I got to meet some great people out there and talk to the viewers, and that's a fantastic thing, man. When you can get out there and actually talk to people, right? That's the key. That's why we do this stuff, so we can meet new people. That's why we're having why Road Glide Andy and Mr. McStash is having OWN next week. So they're putting that together so we can meet more people, and I think that's really really a key topic here. So anyway, let's start out by talking a little bit about yesterday. Yesterday morning, we kind of badgered back and forth between me, Road Glide Andy, and Be the Rider PA because it looked like it was going to be storms all day. It just looked like a bad day yesterday. I mean, it was calling for 70% chance of storms and bad weather. And, it's not that I'm a fair weather rider, but if I don't have to ride in a storm, I try not to. I tend not to like to ride with thunder and lightning. Anyway, the more they badgered, the more I kept looking. I looking outside. Well, the driveway started drying up, and I'm thinking, now this is 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm thinking, well, it's probably going to be okay. So I figure I'm going to gear up, suit up, make sure the rain suit's in the bike, and take off. So I took off and I rode down to Cadiz, Ohio. A lot of you may know that area. You may know where Cadiz, Ohio is. And it was a great experience, a great ride, just hanging out by myself on the bike and just cruising down the road, listening to some music. You know how that goes. I pulled into Cadiz, Ohio, and our friend, a local friend here from very close by in Ohio, his name is Ron. He was there already. Ron's very punctual. He was at the McDonald's we were stopping at in Cadiz, Ohio. So we pulled in there. I got off the bike and I got to walk over, shake Ron's hand, talk to Ron. I met Ron at a Harley dealer on the Windy Nine about a year ago. Him and his wife came up to meet the Fireside Chat boys. So I knew Ron from there. I had his phone number and we were texting back and forth in the morning. I said, Ron, it's a go. And he said, I'm ready. Let's hit it. So we took off. But let me see here. Got two flashes of lighting in my footage. Okay, with the sunlight maybe. Road Glide Andy said that Ron is a super nice guy. He loves watching motorcycle content, moto vloggers, and we had myself and Ron had one of the most probably touching conversations. Somebody talking to me just personally, one on one. And he first came to me and said, can I ask you a question? And I said, yeah, I love questions, because that's me. I'm the answer man. I'm going to give you the answer for the question. Dawn on the Run, good morning to you. I seen you popped in there. Nice to have you. WS Keys on 3's in there now. Mr. McStash is checking clouds out at 18,000 feet this morning. So we started to, Dawn on the Run said it was kind of rough on my end as far as the storms go. Okay, Dawn, yeah, so I don't know where you're coming in from yesterday. I know a lot of people wanted to come there and meet up at the Adventure Harley Davidson yesterday. And the two gentlemen I met, it was kind of cool because they actually rode in with the American Convoy. And I asked them if they were going on. They said, no, we're done now. So they rode like 2 or 3 stops with them, but they had to go back home because, obviously, guys, work gets in the way, right? We got to work. We got to make money to pay for these fantastic toys that we're so blessed to own, right? So, but yeah, I had a great conversation yesterday. Henry's in there. Good morning to Kike. I'll talk about Henry there in a minute too, because that's what I do. I talk about everything on this show. So, um, the Harley Cruiser 66. Good morning. So let's back up. So first of all, what you do is when you go to one of these meetups, if you go to see Adam Sandoval with the Great American Convoy, and you go into one of the Harley dealers, it's interesting. So I told Miss Sage when I came home, it's like meeting a rock star because these people, we see these people. He's so out there on YouTube, right? I read his book when he was on the road by himself with Scooter, the little Chihuahua, and just with all that, it feels like you know these people. Like it's just amazing how in touch you can be with these people. And you get up and you're like, oh, blah 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 blah, and you really don't know what to say, right? So that's the key element here. You don't know what to say to these people, um, and he explained to it very well. It's not that he's famous. He's the voice of the Great American Convoy, but it's not him that's raising the money. It's everybody out there. It's the people that get on the motorcycles that go out and ride. So we'll back up here a minute and go back to that meetup at McDonald's. So we met up. We waited there for a minute, and Be the Rider PA, Roguelite, and Andy pulled in with his wife, and we ran into McDonald's for the obvious stop. Got back on the bikes and we took off. I don't know how Roguelite Andy and Be the Rider PA, I'm going to call them both human GPSs. They took us on. I've been out to Adventure Harley Davidson probably 100 times, if not more. I go to Sugar Creek, Ohio all the time. We go up to the Amish country a lot. And we ride up 22. We get on to 250, and you take 250 for like forever. It's a desolate road, and it's just boring, right? You do have the lake up there. You do have Tappan Lake, but it is boring. So, till you've done what he's done, folks, you shouldn't be knocking Adam Sandoval for anything about his Great American Convoy. Yeah, and I'll discuss that. But let's get back to in just a minute here. Let's get back to the ride. Good morning, Brian Richards. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. Yeah, Brian was there. Brian says we had a great time. Met some interesting people, and there were so many people to meet there. Windroad Therapy. I know she was on the Great American Convoy at one time. I've seen her in the videos. So anyway, Roguelite Andy took us out some amazing back roads, man, and we came out on the edge of 250. It was really weird because I've been there 100,000 times. But the ride they took us on yesterday, and even Ron said that. Ron said he's been up that way 100 million times, and that is the best roads that we went on yesterday. Some of the most amazing riding on these back roads and some amazing scenery. So anyway, we get to Adventure Harley. As I said, I talked to the two gentlemen. I got off the bike. We got to shake hands. We got to meet and hang out a little bit with each other. And then when you go inside, they set up this little, one of those little tents, like you put over a picnic table, right? Like a little pop-up thing. And Adam's there, and they have all of his merch, right? All of his merchandise you can buy. They take charge cards, so don't worry about that. Do bring some cash for the kitty, right? It's about raising money, so bring some cash. So you have something to drop into the fish bowl there, and help them out because we really don't know what he's trying to reach. Maybe you guys can clue us in on this. Anthony thought it was $500,000, so we'll see how that goes. But I think he's going to make it. I do. I think he's going to make it for sure. So anyway, we went in, like I said, you get back there and you finally get to that end of that line. You get to shake the guy's hand, and it's great because he has a team of people that are helping him. And they'll say, hey, do you want pictures? You hand them your phone. And man, they snapped me a ton of pictures, man. And it was just so cool, shaking hands. Then you get a picture, standing beside Adam. He's like 9 feet tall. One big guy, man. One big guy for sure. Tall guy. Taller than what you'd notice on the videos, unless he's standing next to somebody. But, yep, okay, it's $500,000 Brian said he's trying to raise. His goal is $500,000. Thanks, guys. I knew you would clarify that for me this morning here on the show. So we got to chit chat there a little bit. And Be the Rider PA is one smart cookie. I don't know where he gets his notions from, but he walks up to Adam. He says, hey, do you think you can shoot an intro for me? I have a YouTube channel. And Adam said, absolutely. So, Be the Rider PA puts his phone out. The guy held it for him, and they're talking, and he shot a little intro for Be the Rider PA. I got up there, and I was too nervous to ask. I wanted to do an intro for Coffee with HDR, and I was just too nervous to ask. So, uh, very, very approachable man. I could actually say young man, I guess, at this point. He's probably in his 30s or 40s, I guess. Probably 40, maybe. I don't know how old he is, but, um, you know, and traditionally, you go up there and you do all the things that you would do, right? You thank him for what he's doing. You thank him for raising money for vets. I am a vet, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Um, you know, I told him, you did an amazing job at the campground. I mean, look at that campground. You buy it, it's sticks and trees and a couple, 2 or 3 cabins, and now look at it, right? It's the Taj Mahal of campgrounds. So, so that was good. That was good. HDAV Traveler said that, yeah, too nervous. Yeah, you're right. Like, just, I don't know. I don't know if it's nerves or what it is. Even Be the Rider PA said he get up there and you meet somebody and you don't really know what to say. So, you have it running through your head, but then it just doesn't translate properly. So, but anyway, very approachable man. He does extremely well with kids, man. I got a little video clip. This little girl brought him a picture that she drew and handed it to him, and he actually got pictures with her and some video content. So I hope he uses it on the next video that should be coming out sometime, probably today, knowing how he's been posting videos. Okay, he's 45 years old, and there you go. Bodine says, I get nervous like that around HDR. Yeah, I don't buy that at all, Bob. Uh, Myself and Bob have known each other for about 150 years now, so we're more the 5 guys on our chat group. I would have to say, for sometimes better, sometimes worse. We get into some discussions, but we're probably more like brothers at this point, hanging out with each other. We get to have a family reunion usually once a year. We get together. Our wives don't come with us, and we just hang out at a house, and we have a good time. So that's what it's all about. But let's see. HGAV Traveler said, don't worry, you're still the kind of cool to all of us. There you go. HGAV Traveler, I appreciate that, my friend. Let's see here. WS Keys on 3 said, I've been at the K Rivers twice from Vegas so far and planning to go again. Be the Rider PSA Moto Vlogger Meetup at the K River Campground. That would be amazing. Ricky KM said, morning, everyone. Let's see here. Painter said, luckily, I already broke the ice with the big YouTube stars. Let's see here. Bob Nelson said, good morning. Toby Northern said, good morning, everybody. Yeah, Payne's Ride's one of those brotherhoods because he comes out to the meetups and he just feels like family at this point too, So anyway, so we did meet Adam. That's why we went, right? That was the big draw there, and it worked out great. So if you have a chance to go to the Great American Convoy, do so. Now, I'm going to bring up the second part of this because the second part of this was probably even more interesting to me as a YouTuber, as a content creator. The second part of this was we were looking around and I noticed out of the corner of my eyes her 2 wheels walk in. Now, her 2 wheels, her name is Jess. It was like talking to one of my daughters, right? Because you guys know we have 3 daughters. And it was like talking to one of my daughters standing there. We ended up talking for, I bet you, and Jim will tell you, and Rogue Glide Andy, the 3 of us stood there. We probably talked for about 40 minutes, just hanging out and chit-chatting. And it was interesting because when we got done, Be the Rider PA looked at me and said, it seemed like you lived beside her or something, like you knew her. Because the reason that is, as a content creator, we bring everybody into our lives at some point. If you guys go back and look at my videos from years ago, you'll see back here where I took you to my childhood home. I took you to my childhood neighborhood. I showed you the grade school I went to. If you think about that, you're almost bringing somebody in like their family. And if you watch those videos, you're going to have a memory of what's going on. So I asked her about her and her husband putting an electrical line in between their house and their garage. We talked about her going to Florida, remember, in the wintertime, to see if it was going to be any better, to do that. And she said, yeah, because content creation up here in the north, she lives in Ohio, is pretty much non-existent in the wintertime. You can get good days to get the bike out, but it's hard to make content in the wintertime if you're a moto vlogger. So, and that's very, very true. Bodine said, Jess gets a bad rap. She is genuine and a good person. She is an extremely down to earth person. Toby Norton said, we linked up with Adam at Bowling Green Harley Davidson. Cool thing. Doodle on a motorcycle was there too. That's another extremely up and coming moto vlogger. It's Doodle on a Doodle. Of course, I can't always say the name. Doodle on a motorcycle. But one thing in talking to into her two wheels was that I was very much educated. And I feel that I'm an educated guy, but as a YouTube content creator, I am not. There's a lot of education I got yesterday. Here's one thing, guys, that happens. When you break that mold and you become a super YouTuber, okay? So I'm talking, her two wheels, um, Shade Tree Surgeon, Blockhead, Adam Sandoval. When you become Doodle on a motorcycle, when you become one of those super YouTubers, okay? As a smaller content creator, you can look at that and you can question why, right? You can question how did that happen, but don't do that. Do it this way. Say, you know what? Bless those people for making it. Bless those people for finally making it. But what Jess told us, her two wheels, was I was blown away. She goes, this won't last forever. She said, YouTube is not a career. We know that, right? If you're making $500-$600 right now, if you're making $10,000 right now, that can go away like that. Because it can. Because YouTube is that way. Fan base is that way. That happens, right? But it was just so nice because I asked her, I said, so what do you see difference between when she used to go get coffee on her motorcycle? You guys might have watched those years ago. She started in 2019. She would take her bike from her house. She works at home and she would go and get iced coffee on the motorcycle. And those are the videos I remembered really, really well. What happened from when you were, a 200 subscriber YouTube channel to when you're a 100,000 subscriber YouTube channel? She said, it gets more tiring in a different way. So think of that. Think of that statement. It gets more tiring in a different way. She said she loves it, right? You love the publicity. You love the fan base. You love the notoriety when you go out there and somebody says, hey, how are you? And that's wonderful. That's not what to do it for, but I understand how you get caught up in that, right? How you get Harley Davidson called you. They called her up. She's going to the 120th anniversary. And they called her to do a press release on the new CVOs. So that kind of stuff is super cool. But on the flip side, look at Adam right now. They're on the road all of the time. And I talked to Jim about that. We're in the parking lot and we were chit-chatting a little bit in the parking lot. And I said, Jim, everybody wants to be a rock and roll star. Until you start to do the touring. I used to be, well, I still am, really, really big on watching YouTube videos about KISS. Gene Simmons talking about the touring. Um, you know, Paul Stanley talking about touring and how they tour. Guys, they lived in Chicago. KISS, the band, the members lived in Chicago at one time. I don't know when this was, but they would get on their plane. Now, their trucks would go and set these concert halls up. They would get on the plane, fly to the concert, play the concert, fly home at night, just like you would go home from work. Get up the next day, get everything packed again, ready to go, fly out to the next concert place where they got to play. The life on the road can be a lonely, lonely place, right? And that could very much happen to anybody. So, but anyway, what the moral of the story was is don't ever look at a big YouTuber and think, how did they make it? And you're not. You're stuck at 500 subscribers. You're stuck at 5,000. You're stuck at 10,000. Whatever. Count the blessings for people that we know, people that you can approach anywhere, and just talk to them. And we just talked to her two wheels, and it was just an amazing conversation. So I have a whole different outlook for big YouTubers, right? I know I can talk, and I've been going on for quite a while, but I know that Colin, Bronco Ride, and I know that Ty from Tennessee just met Tall, Traveling Tall, I'm sorry. And they said he's just a down to earth guy, right? We all start on that motorcycle. We click that camera on that first time, and you don't know what's going to happen, right? YouTube has become, I believe, in my views, as the American gold rush, right? Everybody's out there prospecting for gold. We're trying to figure it out. How do you get more subscribers? How do you get more viewers? Guess what? It doesn't matter. At the very end of the day, it doesn't matter. Listen to Roguelite Andy. Roguelite Andy is one of the most original, genuine people that I probably know. He's down to earth. He's a younger guy, and he has the right mentality. I do this for me. I say whatever I want on my videos, because a couple of times we cursed yesterday in his video as we were talking back and forth on the sentence. He goes, don't worry, guys, because that's real, and it's going up on the video. And it wasn't bad cursing. It was just something out of the ordinary. Like, damn, look at that, or, whatever. So it's genuine. He's just doing it for fun. So think of it that way. Let's look down through some of these comments here so I don't miss anything here. Brian Richards says, don't cut yourself short. I rode on the convoy to Adventure Harley Davidson just to meet HDR. Brian, I know, and it was fantastic to meet you, and I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But what I'm saying is, it's fantastic. That's why we do this. That's what I'm saying, Brian. We do this so we can meet people, so we can, be out there, so people will know who you are, I guess. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Let's see. But Brian, I do definitely appreciate, man, hanging out and getting to chat to you there yesterday. Coffee is brewing, morning all. Good morning to Bleak Rides. I see you jumped in there. Windroad Therapy says, I was there last year. I will be there again this year. I don't know where you're going. I missed it. I'm sorry. Toby said, I rode with Adam for 2 days. I'm telling you, what he's doing is about as close to, as a civilian, is going to get what a military member experiences was deployed. I agree with you there a whole 100%. Bleak Rides said, I went to save people, get them and to stop using drugs and start riding motorcycles. Bleak, that's a great message for sure. Henry says, reach for the stars, but with your feet on the ground, get it. That's a great thing, Henry. Henry's my philosopher, but he's just a down to earth man. And when you hang out with Henry for a couple of days, you'll be grounded for sure. But yeah, so reach for the stars, and keep your feet on the ground. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful way of putting it. Painsrod said, my channel will never be big. First, I hate having to record everything. Beyond that, the victory has a small following. The channel is diluted with dirt bike content. Painsrod, yes, so, you're just looking for your home. I watch for your happy personality, Pains. That's right, Pain. We watch for your happy personalities. And your dirt bike riding content is amazing. So, I honestly, truly don't believe I don't really believe it's the person. That's why you watch this. And I found out yesterday, it's if you can get into the person. And guys, thank you so much for people that do watch my content, that do come to the Saturday morning coffee. I once had people email me and text me and says, you sound like George Bush. I don't know which one, because there was two of them as president. Maybe that turns you off. I don't know, but it's just so nice because we get to live in a place where we all enjoy something special, and that's motorcycling. Let me go through this. I've seen some other cool comments here. The best part of YouTube is meeting so many great people. Some of you closest friends I've met through watching YouTube. Be the Rider PS said, yep, well, I'm a truck driver. Laugh out loud. Windroad Therapy said, Harley Day Rider, I was at K River to Stubborn American Rally, and we'll be there this year again as a motovlogger meetup. That's really cool. Now, I don't know when that is, the Stubborn America, but I can't travel outside of June and July. So that's my 2 months to travel to do anything. Once I go back to school and we open the school back up, it's funny as a teacher, I feel like remember those days when we went to school, when we were kids, and you would play hooky, right? You would skip school. If you skip school now, I'm not letting anybody down. Like, as a kid, you're letting yourself down. But now I'm letting 40 kids down. So it's just not right. Just not right for me to do that. Pains is amazing. Dirt bike rider. He is. We can learn a lot from Pains rides. I wish he'd come out here and ride with me so he can teach me. last week in September into October is this. Okay, yeah, see, September to October, there's no way I can make something like that. I mean, just maybe once I retire in a couple years, then yeah, man, I'm up. I'll be there for sure. I would love to go. Um, so thanks for bringing that up there. All right, let's play my 30-minute mark here. Let's do that. Just speak up.
Hey, I'm Beat Rider PA,
I'm Road Glide Andy.
and this is Coffee with HDR,
Well-
Convoy America.
Yeah, the Great American Convoy. Coffee with HDR, the Great American Convoy style.
Great American Convoy HDR.
All right, once again, guys, thanks a lot for yesterday. Road Glide Andy, you placed off twist my arm. If it's going to thunderstorm, you're placed off to twist my arm. So, yeah, but so with that said, let's see, thanks. Jarvis Biker's in the house. Good morning, Jarvis. Glad to have you on board there this morning with us. Good morning, Road Glide Andy. Jarvis Biker, take it in your heading to Own. Jarvis Biker will be at Own. I've talked to him recently, so and I know he's planning to come down to Own with a few other people. All right, so let's move on a little bit. So let's move on to the personal conversation. Okay, it was touching. It was so touching because Ron has known me for, like I said, since last. Well, he's probably known me from YouTube for a long time, and that's super cool to be known from YouTube by so many of you out there. But Ron, like I said, had my phone number. He contacted me a while ago and said, "Hey, are you going to the Adam Sandoval meetup?" Good morning, Boots and Jeans. Glad to have you on board this morning. Nice that you're stopping by to say hello, though. So thank you for that. If you're not watching Boots and Jeans videos, that's two people that travel this 48 states like nobody else. You might want to catch them on their next big adventure. That's Boots and Jeans. Okay, let's move on. Let me go back first again to say, once again, thanks to Brian and his buddy that I met yesterday. It was so cool just to have people walk up to you and say, "Hi, HDR." And then by the time you leave, they know my real name, which you guys can know my first name, right? It's Jack. I mean, that's the true name. So, but it was just so nice for you to come up and meet me there. And Brian, you were right about the high rate of speed. As long as I'm not going to tell you how fast we were going on the convoy, but be ready to hold on to your throttle and catch it. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go back to Ron. So anyway, Motor Rambling, good morning. They have an important day today. Currently in New Orleans, heading for a funeral. Sorry for that, Boots and Jeans. Myself and my wife want to go to New Orleans, though, so that would be great to come to. Not for that reason, but we would love to go to New Orleans. D.A. Bishop's in the house there. Jarvis Biker, Windroad Therapy. Sorry for your loss, Boots and Jeans. All right, so let's move on. I told you I got a lot to talk about today, but what Saturday don't I have a lot to talk about? You're like, geez, Jack, what the heck is going on, man? You're just rattling right on there, right? And I'm living through the chat room, so if you have any thoughts there, throw them in the chat room. I'll catch them in there. All right, let's go into Ron. So Ron went out, and I don't know if Ron wants me to discuss this or not, but you know me, I'm a transparent guy. I want to discuss this. So Ron went out, and he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I love questions, so I was like, "Ron, go ahead." Now this is after we met Adam. We're standing outside, we're talking. I'm having a bottle of water, and we're just enjoying ourselves out in actually the sunlight. Believe it or not, the sun came out yesterday. It was a really nice day. So Ron brings up a topic. He says, look, he said, HDR, I've always known you as HDR. I've always known you as a motorcycle guy. You know, and what really, really touched me, and I told the guys last night, we were texting back and forth. I told the guys, I said, there's some things that I get wrapped up in so much of the economical reasons of YouTube, right? The gold rush, okay? Let's call it the YouTube gold rush, that I miss the true reasons why I even started a YouTube channel, even with my Photoshop channel. My Photoshop channel was started because there was nothing out there at the time, and I simply wanted to help people learn, right? That's why I did it. And I didn't want anything for it. I didn't want anything in return. I just wanted to help people. And he said, yeah, but the motorcycle content, he said, you won't believe, and I never put these two together. You'll never believe, you'll never understand how it actually helps people. Now, I'm not talking about helping you buy a seat. I'm not talking about helping you buy pipes. That's all important stuff, right? To make the proper decisions. He told me that it helped him on a mental level. And it helped a lot of his friends watching my videos, probably because I'm mental, on a mental level. He also states in there, like, a lot of his friends that he knows are older generation. They can't ride anymore, and they ride through us, the guys doing these YouTube videos. Riding your motorcycle, they go on a ride with us, and they get to experience that right through what we're telling them. That totally changed my perspective again yesterday. It, like Henry said, it takes you from the stars and it grounds you, right? It grounds you. It puts you on that level where you're doing it for a certain reason. It's not the gold rush, guys. I'm doing it for that reason where if I can help people, right? I just told you in my last videos, the videos I do with the Photoshop elements and all that is about helping people. He said, well, why do you have 10 YouTube channels? I said, because I get a thought in my head of how I can help people, teach people something. Like the one channel is all about hacking. And I did that channel basically because of my students, right? That's why I teach in classes, hacking and cybersecurity. And I wanted to reach more people and just simply help, right? Help learn about that. So that is what really, really touched me yesterday to a whole different level. And they said, okay, Jack, he says, because we talk, Ron, Jack. He said, okay, Jack, so let me ask you this. He said, so if you had to go boating or biking, he said, which one gives you more relief? Guys, I couldn't answer it. I did tell him this. I said, look, when I'm out on the boat, I've never done boating videos, and there's a good reason for that because I didn't want to wrap up pleasure with YouTube, right? I don't know enough about fishing to help somebody, and I think that's another thing, right? If you don't know enough about a topic, how can you help somebody, right? You could mumble through it, you could do your research and figure it out and make a video, but I don't know enough about fishing. So when I go out there, and the other day I was out there with Henry, I told him, and we were out fishing for 7 hours. Myself and Henry, and he can tell you, have not fished for 7 hours in a long, long, long time. We got to a spot, you'd catch two, you'd get quiet, then you catch two more, you get quiet, catch another one, Then we were catching bass, we were catching perch, and the fish were hitting. My dad always said you never leave a lake when the fishing are hitting. If the fishing's good, you don't leave. And the fishing was real good, real good. So, but anyway, so Bodine said that. Amen, Jack. So, yeah, that's true. That's my beliefs, and I think that's what that amen was to. So, Motor Rambling. Good morning. I've been doing this YouTube thing for 5 years now. I have less than 650 subscribers, but I'm still having a blast with YouTube because it's all the great people I've been able to meet. And that's what it is. I think before YouTube, now Henry, you guys know Henry. And it's funny, I was talking to Ron about fishing. I said, my buddy. He goes, oh, you mean Henry, right? Because you guys have seen him on the bikes with me. He doesn't ride now, because I can't get him to buy a motorcycle. I'm trying, because he can still ride. He's still a young enough man to jump on a bike and we can go. But we do fish together, and that's our time together because Henry is, believe it or not, my oldest dearest, closest friend, where he is more part of our family. Henry is more of a brother, to an uncle to our kids. He's a part of our family. So we do like to spend that time together. We cherish that time together. So, but anyway, um, so but he asked me, so what's more calming for you, riding a motorcycle or fishing? So I honestly couldn't answer that question. Guys, I jump on the motorcycle, and sometimes you haven't seen a whole lot of content from me because sometimes content creators can hit a wall, just like a writer. A writer can get to the point, and I've wrote a novel before. You can look at a blank page and stare at that page and just don't know what key to type first. Right? It's called writer's block. When you're a content creator, you're going to hit that block. It's called creator block. Okay? Maybe that's why I started other channels, so I can still, because like Ron said, hey, Jack, he said, you're a creator. You like to create. And I do. There's a problem with creation and doing it too much. You run out of time, right? That's very essence too. But you will, guaranteed you're going to get creator block. Guaranteed you're going to get creator block. And you're going to be out there looking what other people are doing, what other people are talking about, what's popular, right? What's not popular. Biggest thing with content creation is from the heart, right? Go out there, you talk about what you feel is very important. It's funny because it came up in my college class, which you know that I might have had a meltdown. I may not have had a meltdown about that, but it's going extremely right now. So far, it's going okay. I understand what I'm doing. I'm on that I'm on that downhill slide where it's almost over. Thank God. But with that said, but it was interesting because it came up in there. The professor asked, well, this is one of my lessons, what makes a good topic? How about that? How about just give me a question with something that I know a lot about? What makes a good topic? You know, the number one reason, the number one thing for a good topic is something that you believe in. That's probably the number one reason to make a good topic. Another one is timely, right? Timing. Timing a good topic is a good thing, right? I don't know if Veteran Biker's in there. Veteran Biker's been doing a lot of stuff about Harley Davidson right now. He's been talking about Harley's downfalls and, their issues. And I guess it's in good timing, right? He's doing very well with that topic. And he's living off that topic right now. And that's great, Veteran Biker. The one thing you don't know about Veteran Biker is, and watch his videos closely. He mentioned in one video, and I don't even know if he's still here or not, about everything he's making from YouTube, he's donating it. So he's giving that money away. And that's a good thing, right? So that's positive of a message. But yeah, so he's in a battle with Harley because it's what he's passionate about. And it's timing, I guess. I don't know. Because I don't know about this whole controversy of what's going on out there right now about all these different words and these words or sayings or phrases getting passed around. I really don't care because I don't look into that kind of stuff. That's not me. That's not what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about riding motorcycles and sharing the experiences with all of you. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I have a good time doing. So, boating can be more calming, but biking can be more pleasing, I would believe. Motor Rambling said, it's not as challenging as anything you ride, but it's fun for me. Just going back up through the comments here. Motor Rambling said, yeah, Moto Rambling says about the 650 subscribers. Again, remember, as long as you're having fun doing it and you're not getting creator's block, go for it. I have hit creator's block on the Harley Day Rider, the HDR channel. And I truly thought somewhere in my stupid mind, not stupid because I really enjoy it, but I somewhere thought that, buying a different style bike and introducing that to the Harley Day Rider channel would be a really good idea. It was a really bad idea. If I would have bought the Pan America, right, another Harley Davidson, I think it would have fit in well with our venture riding. I think they would have tied together. And a few of my friends texted me and said, well, Jack, look, it's because your channel's called Harley Day Rider. You branded your channel. So that's true. It has to be a Harley Davidson. But I truly thought if I buy an adventure bike, but what I did was I started a new channel because it allows me to create content and I don't have any block because it's all new, right? Talked to Bodine. Myself and Bodine 52 had a great conversation the other day, and he said it's all new, so it's like a whole new creators content realm out there. We both agree that we both created new channels for our adventure riding, and it's so much fun and so much enjoyable if you're into that. If you're into riding street bikes, you're not going to want to see one of my videos when I'm out there riding, tearing up the gravel roads, right, and having a good time, finding a new lake. You're not going to be interested in that. But there are a lot of people out there, Payne's Rides, that are interested in that. That kind of content, dirt bike riding, trail riding, tearing a dirt bike apart like Payne's Ride does. He tears them apart and puts them together. There's a lot of people out there that are really, really, really interested in that. Let's see here. After much deliberation and back and forth, I decided it's a secret. Payne's Ride's not going to tell us about the new motorcycle he bought. You know, Mike, you should call me up and maybe text your old friend and tell me what it is. I can keep a secret, buddy, pal, friend of mine, Payne's Rides. Anyway, so that is where, and Miss HR didn't even know that. The other night we were eating dinner, we had that discussion. We discussed YouTube very little in our house, not a whole lot. You guys have seen her on the rides. You've seen my wife on the rides with me and on vacations and traveling around this great country on the motorcycles is a wonderful thing. But we don't talk about YouTube too much. I told her that people were asking, where's your content for Harley Day Rider HDR channel? And I told her, I said, I'm kind of at a creator's block. And she said, well, I said, think about it as a famous author. Think of it as Stephen King looking at his keyboard and thinking, how do I start this next story? How do you open up the story to make it interesting enough to get through that first paragraph to know that you're going to read the whole book? Content creation is the same thing, right? It's called a hook. And, my man Bodine 52, and everybody will tell you, he's number one with the hook. And he can hook you in with that first opening blip, right? And that's the first chapter of a creator's book. But I just don't know what to create. So I think what's going to happen is, go back to some of the generality stuff, the general talking that I used to do, just out on the bike and just talking about life, right? Just experiences. Now, many people would be like, well, that doesn't do well. That's not the point. The point is getting to know people. When people approach you in a parking lot, Brian will tell you yesterday, we met, people walk up to you. When we walked up to her two wheels yesterday, when we walked up to Adam Sandoval, we knew these people, right? Couldn't really tell you what they ride, and I'm sure Brian yesterday was like, I don't know what Jack rides over there, and whatever the bike is, where it's at amongst those other 500 bikes sitting over there in that convoy, we don't know. But we know each other, right? That's the goal. That's the big goal here, right? That's the gold rush, right? Gold rush. Myself and my 4 buddies on our text all the time, we talk a lot and we say, look, life is not about chasing the dollar. It's not about chasing the dream. It's about chasing friendships. Friendships and family will outlast all the money you're ever going to earn. Friendships and family will outlast all the gold that you're going to dig up out of the ground, right? That stuff will go away. YouTube itself could go away one day, but I feel that we still will have that human connection, right? So that's big. Anyway, Brian Richards says, hey, if anyone is in the Harbor Heights, Ohio area, the Daytona Chrome Divas are having their Breast Wishes ride kickstand up at noon. Oh, and Brian did say that right. So, Brian, I'm going to put that out there. If anybody's in the Ohio area, the Daytona Chrome Divas are having their Breast Wishes ride kickstand up at noon today from Valley Tavern. Brian, how about dump the address for Valley Tavern in the chat room if you can do that? Let's get that message out there because this is a very important cause. And from what he told me yesterday, his wife's involved with these riders, with these women riders, and that's very, very huge to get that out there. So, Brian, find that address real quick and throw it into the chat there. Real Glad News said, I have told you several times about being genuine to yourself. If you were in the old, like you were in the older videos. You're just having fun, and it showed. And I appreciate that, Andy. And you're right. You're right. You know, when you're riding, you click that camera on. Why do we always become salesmen, producers, all this bullcrap? When you click that camera on, when you're on that motorcycle, just start talking about the fun you're having. How can you give other people on the motorcycle ride, you're like, I'm on here today on my, whatever, blah, blah, and, you know, whatever. You can't get more people into riding that way, right? Are there times for that? Yes, guys, there is. There's times, and I told her two wheels yesterday, I do product reviews. She said she gets, imagine her, guys, she gets over 100 product reviews like a week, right? Everybody, anywhere from China, Japan, Korea, people that are bogus, people that are real, okay? You got to sort through that mess, okay? Guys, everybody likes to get free stuff. It's human nature. But if you get a free bag, I got a bag today. I got a bag that I actually did a video about. I installed very nicely, and now he keeps the clips on it actually snaps broke. They tore out of the material. So I could do a follow-up video. I probably should say, look, don't buy this bag. I mean, it's $25 organizer for your tour pack. Every time I open the tour pack, it's flipped down. It's like, and the tape's all over the place. It's a mess. So, but anyway. Hey, last things last, last things final, final things last. Let's see. I think I would say the word fun a ton of my V-Storm videos. You're right. That's very true. And if you watch my Jack's Rides videos, guys, on the Himalayan, I say it's fun too. It's fun. It's a fun motorcycle to ride. Anybody that has a Royal Enfield or an adventure bike is going to tell you it's fun. It's just, is it fun? It is fun, but it's really different. Anyway, last things last. So in normal Adam Sandoval fashion, Adam Sandoval seems on this tour not to be able to ride anywhere without hitting some rain. So we looked, you can see everybody before the convoy left. We're all looking at our phones, right? We're going through the radar. Oh, yeah, well, no rain. Looks good. Looks clear all the way into Weirton, West Virginia. We look fine. So nobody gears up. We all jump on our bikes, man. We took most of our coats off. People driving with t-shirts because it's nice on a sunny day. It's hot. We get about 5-10 miles from our exit that we're getting off of. Maybe, about 10 miles, I would say. 10, yeah. Anyway. I'm on the communicators with Anthony and with Be the Rider PA. Be the Rider PA has a overlay on his GPS on his Harley that shows the rain moving in. He said, yeah, it's spotty, but it's 20-mile radius. We should be okay. Regular said, oh, yeah, we hit like a sprinkle. He goes, we just drove through that. That's nothing. And, guys, the whole entire world let loose. Tsunami. And it was raining and raining and raining. And you can see the convoy slow down, right? We slowed down a little. But I don't know if people were slowing down a little or speeding up to get to the rest stop, to get to the sheets, to get their bikes under cover. I don't really know. It was kind of a blur. But we made it. We made it. Brian Richards said, oh, your butt cheeks will pucker for sure. Man, you're right, Brian. You are right. And Brian, I don't know if you have Instagram or not, buddy. Catch me on Instagram because I think you live close enough where we can go on some rides together, and I would love to do that. I would like to get a group together from our area, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and be able to get together and do some rides together because I know you guys are in here every week, and I really appreciate you showing up every week here. It was great meeting you. It'll be even nice to turn the throttle with you a couple times and get out there on the road and hang out together. Maybe go get some lunch and just be able to sit down and talk. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. If you're interested in it, I'm putting it out there for you. I would definitely love to do that. Windroad Therapy said, everybody, please have a great weekend. Hit the like buttons. I appreciate that. Give me a big old thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. People often say that, right? Please subscribe to the channel. So Jarvis Biker got to go. Heading home now. Bye. See you, Jarvis Biker. Ride safe out there. Be careful, for sure. And you'll... take care. We'll see you next weekend at Own. Jarvis Biker is one of those great Canadian guys. You just have to sit and talk to him for a while. We'll definitely be chatting. That's for sure. So I'll give you the last 5-minute rundown here of Own. Just to let you know, Own is coming up next weekend. I believe it starts on Thursday, which should be the 22nd. 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, in there somewhere. The own is the Ohio Windy Nine. If you want to see any videos, check out my channel. I have some videos on there of the Windy Nine. Bodine 52 has channels. I'm pretty sure Rogue Glide Andy has some videos of the Windy Nine roads, as well as Bronco Ride. I know he does. Um, and this year, our buddy Ty will have some because we're all going together. Um, great roads, and there's more than nine. There's tons of roads in Ohio that we can ride together. So if you can make it, please make it. We'd love to meet as many people as we possibly can at this meetup. And I always say it's people phrase these things as a moto vlogger meetup. I like to phrase it as a motorcycle rider meetup. If you ride, even if you don't create content, come to these things. Come out and visit, and hang out with the people that are making the content that you're watching. That's a great combination of getting to know people, because you are going to get to know stuff about people that you don't know when you watch YouTube, right? YouTube, you have a certain personality and a certain presence, because everybody says, I used to get emails all the time and nice comments from chaps out there, that would say, HDR, I love your content because I can sit here with my grandchild in the morning. He's 3 or 4 years old. I don't have to worry about hitting the mute button because your content's rated G. And that's the goal. Keep your content rated G. But if you meet myself and the boys, it might not be too much of a rated G conversation. Yeah, it will be. We'll keep it clean. Maybe, maybe not. No, we have a great time together. All right, everybody, but I am going to cut out here. Everyone ride your own ride, Smyrna Cowboy says, and you can't say that any better, buddy. That is a key element of motorcycling. So take care, everybody, until next week. And I don't know if I'm going to do this at own or not. I haven't figured that out yet. I got a lot of gear to take with me. Maybe I'll just stream from the laptop, if nothing else. We'll figure it out, because I always carry a microphone with me, so I should be good. Hopefully I'll do a video from OWN next week. If I do, I'll have some boys with me, and we can chit-chat around, tell you how it's going, tell you how it's been there, and tell you what we've been up to. Take care, everybody, and remember, ride your own ride. Be safe out there. If you can get to the Great American Convoy, go there, do it, support it. It's a wonderful mission. You can't do enough for the veterans of the United States military. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next week. Until then, did I already say it? I'll say it again. Ride your own ride. Be safe out there. This is Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR, in the beautiful studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Hopefully, we'll see you next Saturday morning on the road. Take care. Later.